Acapella. Yes, hi. So my name is Skye Senfort. I was a former VTuber agency talent, now indie talent. I do a lot of things on the internet. I've been VTubing consistently and actively for about 2 years on the AN project, but prior to that, I had a lot of experience like on and off on both Twitch and YouTube, and then I had a lot of prior experience being a live 2D modeler and artist. In general, yes, I do focus on variety. I have quite a few game streams, chatting streams. Also, like I've had like a one-off cooking stream. I've had a 3D modeling stream. I do karaoke streams. Sometimes I do working streams. But I think my main specialty is probably when I'm talking. As for game content specifically, before when I debuted, I said I didn't like horror games, but over the course of the years, I ended up liking horror games quite a bit. And then I also have a big fondness for FromSoft games. Like I finished Dark Souls 1 on stream during my time in AN Project. I also played Armored Core 6, which is something that I'm, well, very known for among the Armored Core community for being Rusty's girl, apparently. I forgot to mention also that I do singing as well. I create covers most of the time. Okay. I do my own timing, tuning, and mixing. Sometimes if I have extra time, I will also do the art and music video of my own covers as well. I have quite a few on my channel that I've made by myself, yeah. Plans cover? I mean, covers planned? Sorry. As of right now, I have one already lined up for February as a Valentine's special. I guess I can leak this because so I won't say what the cover is, but again, I've done all the mixing, timing, tune, etc. myself. I am doing I finished the illustration, like the base illustration, but I will be commissioning somebody for the music video. I also have a lot of other covers sitting in the back burner that I made during my time when AN Project was still active. I have like one or two, if not three covers fully finished, but no art and music video yet, just kind of like sitting there. Aside from that, I also have something that I want to make. It's either going to be a Halloween special or I'm just going to release it sometime randomly in the year. I'll figure it out as I go. I've always really liked singing ever since I was young. I think my most favorite part is just having fun with it. I do hold myself to a bit of a strict standard, and when I'm recording, I'll do many takes. But I think putting my like emotion and like some sort of artistic direction into the cover is what I have most fun with. I am not formally trained in music, so sometimes when I want to add like ad libs or harmonies, I do it intuitively, so I kind of just guess. And if I just happen to come up with something that sounds cool, I'm very happy about it. But it's very hit or miss process. Having fun with it and then coming up with something unexpectedly good, I guess, is the part that I enjoy the most. Yeah. Yes. I think I've always been, well, quite a perfectionist actually. And I've only recently tried to hold myself to like a more normal standard, if one can call it that. Because I've always been afraid of making mistakes. And I think that goes hand in hand with being a perfectionist. It would cause me a lot of like anxiety and imposter syndrome and all that. And I still do experience it for sure. But over time, aside from like going through like therapy and also encountering people who appreciate me, the skylights, and also friends and family, like I think I've started to learn how to accept my mistakes. And rather than like berating myself for it, I kind of see it more objectively and like, okay, it's fine. I'm learning and I'm able to like continue to pursue my goals without hurting myself in the process, or at least not as much. I'm working on it, but yeah. Oh, I don't think like I would consider myself really that. I don't know, cause okay, comparing myself to one of my peers. Shout out to Echo. I learned a lot from Echo. She's a experienced musician and all. I consider myself very much a newbie, a hobbyist, if you will. I don't know if I can really call myself like I'm doing music production, but I've always really liked music ever since I was young. I think I've had an inclination to music in general, to listening to all sorts of genres. My parents would say that like I would like to identify tones. Is it okay for me to say this? So I didn't go through traditional schooling. Basically, one of the exercises there was you'd have like a series of like bells, and sometimes like the teachers would shuffle them up, and then like the kids would have to identify and rearrange them back into a proper C scale. That was one of my favorite things to do during open house when the parents would come by. My parents would like sit down and watch me do that, and they're like, "We can't hear the difference between any of these, sweetie," is what they tell me. And I'd just be like, "No, no, no, it's not right." So ever since then, like they noticed I had this like interest in music. They bought me a toy like keyboard. It was like a 1 octave keyboard, but like it served its purpose. And then I'd start to practice piano on it. They also put me through piano lessons for a short time, but that fell through because the teacher kept rescheduling and never got back to us. So I know how to read musical sheets. What I would mostly do when I was younger is transcribe music by ear and try to like note it down and play it again. I unfortunately didn't get to practice it as much because my bigger hobby was drawing. I think like if I spent enough time on music, I'd probably be going in a more like music production career path. And then for covers, like leading into covers themselves, I've always been a weeb ever since I was a little baby. I loved listening to Vocaloid through re-uploads from Nico Nico Doga, which is basically Japanese YouTube. And then people would post the videos onto YouTube, and that's where I discovered Niku. And then like I was enamored with the green-haired twin-tailed anime girl, and then I started looking for more music featuring her, and that's how I learned about more songs that I wanted to sing. Because it was very community focused, a lot of producers would release the instrumentals for free, and so anyone could download them, and that's what I did. And then I'd slap them into Audacity. You know, I'd start trying to like sing along to them and time them and stuff. And I kind of just learned everything on my own by Googling stuff up. Pretty much. I have tried to make my own music before. It didn't really, I'm not that good at it because I have no experience. Like I've used LMMS, which is a free digital audio workspace. I've made like maybe 1 or 2 tracks, but I've never ever really shown them to the public, I think. But yeah, the whole utaite scene among the Vocaloid community, which is like a bunch of people who do covers, are basically the people who I would really look up to and, you know, want to be like. And they have their own like anime avatars too. And that I feel like that's the predecessor of VTubing also, that a lot of utaites and people who covered anime content or Vocaloid content just naturally evolved into VTubing. So I think that's kind of like how I ended up here. Yeah, again, I came through the art path, not the music path specifically. Yes. I don't have one in production yet, but I do have a few musicians and or producers that I want to work with, and one of them I like have seen their work before and I've talked to them a lot, so I would like to work with them on original. I haven't decided like what type of theme specifically I want to go for yet, but definitely I want to have my own original song or, you know, original album. That would be nice. Yeah. It's one of my aspirations for sure. Mm-mm. Oh, so streaming actively, like weekly, has really not given me that much time to draw. And I've also come to realize that when drawing on stream, I get performance anxiety, I think. And I can't seem to draw as well as I'd like to. So I feel like my art style, well, not exactly regressed. I think my art style has refined. It's just not as impactful or as experimental as it used to be. Before the whole VTubing thing and making VTuber models, because the process between making a VTuber model and a illustration is very different. I'd say that I was a lot more adventurous with my art. I still do take quite a bit of time. People do tell me I work fast, but I personally don't think so. I spend a lot of time thinking when I draw, and I can't think clearly when I'm talking to someone. So in this case, that would be chat. Aside from thinking, like working out, oh, what part goes where in the 3D space of this image in my head is like a certain part standing or whatever. I also enact poses and or gather a lot of references, be it like either taking photos from the internet or taking photos of myself. So those are definitely things I don't want to show on stream. So not being able to work with that makes it quite difficult for me. I would also say my art style has gotten a lot more mainstream anime, a lot more orthodoxically appealing, like, you know, like classic anime girl of 2020s. Because before I was trying to aim for a more semi-realistic style with very high contrast like tones between like shadows and highlights and stuff. But I am kind of happy with the direction my art's taken now, like, because I love cute anime girls, so I'm not complaining. I don't know, sometimes I wish I could be a bit more adventurous, but I feel like I've kind of lost that, so I have to get back there. The designing stage of my current outfit, which, so yeah, I've designed this from head to toe. That's me. Hi, everyone. I went back and forth a lot on what my next outfit would be. When AN project was still active, I had a bunch of ideas for like my outfit 2.0, which I eventually wanted to get and, you know, have a model for. I kind of felt that like maybe I'll just have a whole re-debut, because as much as I do love my original design, like I think it's beautiful, I don't think it's quite me. I do think that thanks to the Skylight community and also my peers, I've been able to like appreciate my own quirks more. And I feel like, you know, Skye Shinryu was also a major part of me. So I wanted to kind of meld both me and my Skye Shinryu self and, you know, basically mold her into more of my own style, if you will. I kind of thought over a bunch of different things that I liked. Like, I like 2000s horror games. I like game consoles from the 2000s. I like, you know, a bunch of different things. And I wanted a design that was simple, because my main issue with my original design was that it was very hard to draw. Thank you, Utamama, for being so amazing. I can't believe you drew each and every single detail, but I can't do that again and again. Also, it just so happened that by the time I was going to return and re-debut, I had watched Death Note. I finally experienced Misa Amane, because I didn't really know much about her aside from, you know, all the illustrations of her and everything. I don't know, her fashion really is a vibe, so that played a role in this current design. Aside from that, I also really like the illustrator Red Juice's designs. Red Juice is the artist for Iris from Hololive, and they have done a lot of different art, you know, before Iris as well. And I like the silhouette that they give their characters. I tried to go for that, but okay, there's one big problem. My bust is too big to properly emulate the silhouette I wanted to go for. So I kind of compromised. I just took some elements that I liked and ended up with this. And I do like it. I'm very happy with the outfit that I made. Moving on to like the illustrating and rigging part. Illustrating it took long. Did I take longer in illustrating or rigging it? I honestly do not remember at this point. I already have a lot of experience modeling and making parts for VTuber models, because in my personal work, my personal commission work, I've made at least 20 models for 20 different clients. I'm pretty sure I've made like 10 or 15 for myself. So I kind of know where to cut corners. I use a mirror tool because front-facing models, Live 2D Cubism uses has like reflect horizontally and vertically tools. So like if you want to move your model facing that left this way, you can also mirror certain parts to move the other way, like in an equal amount. So it makes the workflow a lot easier. And it's also just ideal, I think, for VTuber model tracking. There are models that are like 3/4, like Ui Sensei, Ui Mama. I've also done models like that too, but it's just generally easier with like a front-facing model. As for the rigging, funny story, the Skylights kind of asked me to keep this amount of jiggle. Because I was talking
Thank
about
you,
how like
Skylights.
thank you, Skylights. Because I was thinking maybe I should tone it down a bit, you know, maybe I shouldn't make it too crazy. But they're like, no, please, please keep it. I'm like, okay. I mean, it is fun, I will admit, but yeah, it's just kind of funny. I do think that for my rigging here specifically, I decided to limit like how much motion, range, and physics I'd be putting into it. To break it down, this model has, I think, about either 5 or 4 physics parameters for like everything from hair to like clothes to like the tufts on my head. I did that to make the workflow easier and faster for myself. I gave myself a bunch of expressions as well. So it's nice being my own modeler because, you know, I can like add updates and stuff. Right now I have like this expression, which I do like using a lot. Oh, this is not something I think a lot of modelers do, but I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who does this. So I have, instead of 2 parameters for my mouth, I have 3. The one is for like smiling and frowning. So when I pout and speak like this, I also have an extra parameter that tracks the vowel shapes, specifically, you know, what vowels I'm making with my mouth, like a, I, u, e, o. So there's a different smiling a, I, u, e, o. It's kind of hard to keep. Yeah, it's hard to show, but it's there because I like very accurate. Well, I like expressive and accurate face tracking. I think it takes more priority over physics. I mean, sure, everybody loves jingling the keys, but you know, I think having a very expressive model is also very fun. For future updates, I think I would like to add stuff like arms, like extra arms, like, you know, waving, maybe new expressions. I'd like glasses, and also, yeah, I can draw myself a new outfit whenever I want because I also have like the base files for this model. So yeah. I would say it was definitely a lot easier than debut because that was, you know, my first time debuting in a corporate setting, and be like having like set times and deadlines because, you know, I had to raid into my own cover, and that didn't exactly go as planned, unfortunately, but it was pretty funny.
Okay, chat, I have a very, very important mission for you, which will be briefed tomorrow at Debut 2.0. It's very important to me, and if you like retro games, it'll be very important to you. So yes, okay, that's it for the slides at Debut. I think, wait, I'll send y'all off. This is not how I planned it to go, but yes, thank you all so much for coming to our debuts again, doing all the watch-alongs, and for anybody who does clips, and so, okay, after this, literally right after this, less than a minute, we have my cover song. I'll be redirecting y'all to it, and then we have the Museum collab stream an hour after this, and then our original group song is coming out, so please be there. I'm going to send you all off now, guys. Goodbye, take care, bye. Wait,
here with the re-debut, I still felt very nervous. It's probably because I do care a lot about my community and being able to do good by them and do good for them. And also, you know, like I put a lot of my assets together and coordinate a lot of this different stuff. I did commission a bunch of different things, but stuff I made, like aside from my model, I also made my schedule, I made my overlay, I made one of the backgrounds, but like my main bedroom, I like commission someone else to do it. So I don't know, I just spent a lot of time thinking this over and putting something together that both I think represents me well and also something that the community would enjoy. It's nice not having a deadline, just to be able to yap as much as I want, so I don't have to worry about panicking with my buttons and figuring out which screen is which. I do think that I have gained a lot of experience over the years, at least comparing my current re-debut to my first debut. I think I'm a lot more confident now. And I do have other people telling me that I do seem a lot more confident in myself because I never really had much self-confidence in the first place. But I think that streaming, meeting a lot of different people, collaborating with different people, and learning how to speak my mind more, set my boundaries with others, like my community and other people has made me a lot more confident. And also seeing how much people appreciate like me for just being me was very astounding to me because I've always been kind of like an outlier, outsider in most places that I've been to because I was, the weird anime kid who only like watches anime and only speaks English because I live in the Philippines and most people they understand English and everything but would rather speak in the native tongue Tagalog, and sometimes it causes a rift and a bit of like a language barrier. So it was hard to find people who actually kind of got to know me and who kind of like appreciated what I do. I ended up like pouring a lot of myself into my crafts, like, making covers, doing art, because I think the only people that I could impress were myself and the people online who saw my work when I posted it online. And I guess occasionally also my dad, because he was also an artist. He kind of gave up his dream and focused on doing, on working more to support his family. Oh, but now he's getting back into art and he's still really, really great at it. And it's really nice. Yeah, yay! I still do want to try and play games that I feel like I missed out on, whether it be because I was too young to play them at the time, they were before my time. So like some of the 2000s games, like with my re-debut, actually I think I forgot to mention this during my re-debut. To keep it simple, I'm around 25 years old now, so games that came out in the 2000s, I probably would have been too young to understand and play, like the original Half-Life, though I have played that already at this point. There are a bunch of other games that I've missed out on that I want to play, like Halo. I've never played Halo. I've never played Call of Duty. There's a lot, and so I just kind of want to explore. Before, I did have quite a focus on FromSoft. I can't exactly do that right now, but maybe, big maybe, and hopefully in the future I might be able to do some of that again. In general, just variety content and just doing cool things together with my viewers and showcasing my skills more. After I did that 3D modeling stream, that was actually really fun, and I kind of want to do it again. And maybe doing more learning stuff and just having fun, maybe like VR, or maybe, who knows, doing music production on stream, making a really silly song, something like that. Yeah, variety, more variety. I would say yes, because now I'm not like responsible for like other people, basically. Because I do think that when you're in an agency, you do represent the company, and also you indirectly like influence how people think of your other like co-workers as well. So, like for example, somebody could go into like one of my gen mates' streams and be like, "Hey, you're the gen mate of that Rusty girl, aren't you?" You put like preconceptions into people's heads, basically, with the way you act. And it just so happens that in a company, it's more strongly associated with other people. So during my time in AN, this was not really like pushed on me or anything, but I was very conscious of how like my actions would affect everyone else. I would tend to like carry myself in a way that wouldn't like hurt the image of the other people that I work with. Now that I'm indie and only really responsible for myself, I am a lot more comfortable taking actions and stuff that, only I have to bear the responsibility for. But also I do keep in mind to still behave in such a way that would be proper. Aside from that, there's also less restrictions when you're not in a corporation because, say for example, companies like Nintendo, now that you're an individual, there are less like restrictions and like processes that you have to go to in order to like acquire permissions, for example. Aside from that, also like commissioning people, there are commercial rates, but sometimes they will have like different commercial rates between individual creator and a corporate creator. So that's another thing as well. VTubers specifically, I actually haven't watched as many VTubers for art. I do watch more VTubers for singing, but someone in related to the VTuber scene, her name is Rosuri. I've been following her as her illustration journey for years now. And I'd say she was one of my biggest inspirations when I was younger. I've definitely branched out my influences a lot more over the years, but when I was young, I would always look at her work and say like, man, I want to be just like her one day. I did get to meet her at a convention once actually, and I bought one of her prints and she signed it, and she's very cute. There's so many amazing illustrator VTubers out there, like Ninomai Nanis, Raura Pantera, Jariku. Hang on, I'm naming a lot of like big names. I'm trying to remember like more of the indie people. There's this person in the Final Fantasy 14 community. They're the artist for Our Unending Journey. So it's basically them and like a few of their Warriors of Light, and they make a long running comic of that. And sometimes they stream, and usually they just stream like game stuff. But I really like following their comic. I like comics a lot. Well, web comics. I've never read a superhero comic in my life before. Oh, a bunch of local Filipino artists. Shout out to Temachi. Temachi, you're the GOAT. I've known Temachi for a very long time as my former freelance illustrator. I don't know if she knew. Actually, I think a lot of people who have met me again don't really know that, you know, I've moved on to being a former corporate VTuber. So it was kind of funny speaking to people and then being like, hi, it's so nice to meet you. And like, I can't really tell them like, hey, I've known you for a while now. For live 2D rigging though, like I love Bree at Cookie Box's work. Her work is amazing. It's very clean and consistent. Another person who actually really helped me get into live 2D modeling was Kira Omori, a local live 2D modeler. She made one of like the earliest live 2D tutorial series that helped me understand the software. Yeah, that really helped me kickstart like my live 2D commission stuff. Aside from that, there's also Mi Chama, and then there's also Kaheru. I'm sorry, I'm just naming a lot of like local Filipino VTubers. Oh, another VTuber whose art I love and adore is Kaniho. I love you, Kani. Please sign my forehead. Kaniho's pixel art and art in general is amazing. So let me think. There are so many artists. I just can't put like my finger on their names. References. Many references. Don't be afraid to plaster your like canvas with lots and lots of booba pictures. I guess this is gonna be getting super technical about it, but understanding 3D space and form and cast shadows are very important to booba. Form shadows are basically like to represent the volume of something. You see the cleavage in the middle of my model. So that thing that's like gradienting off to like the right side of the screen, that would count as a form shadow, and then like moving down a bit, so the shadow underneath the booba, that is a cast shadow. It can like denote also again 3D space, but they tend to be a bit harsher, and it's like blocking out light from the like where the light source is coming from. It's super technical stuff. It's probably just random jargon at this point, and people's brains are glazing over right now. But trust me, you'll get it eventually. There's a bunch of tutorials online. Can I mention some artists who drop some really great booba, but aren't necessarily they're not safe for work?
Yeah, of course. Why not?
Oh, okay. All right. So for some like context, I draw hentai art like for the viewers out there. Like I think people commission me that more than regular art actually. Some great artists out there. I love Slugbox's booba. I love the way they draw booba, big and small. Captivate. Was it Captivate TV or Captivate VT? There's this Japanese artist. Their first name is Rena, but I forget their surname. They also draw really good booba, and they're also a VTuber. There's also, okay, I don't remember their name, but one of their VTuber children has booba the size of like 2 exercise balls, and they have a recorder in between them at all times, and she's like a pink fairy. I don't know if people have seen her, but that person's model artist also draws really, really great, detailed, realistic anime booba. So that's also really nice. Anyone else? Oh, I think Kokone, Yurikawa Kokone. The way she draws the female figure is really, really nice in my opinion. I would also suggest Kokone-san. Those are the ones that come to mind right now, but I'm sure I have like a gajillion like references saved somewhere in my folders. But yeah. A third skylight? That's a tough question. What would complement the two currently? Because like in my head, the skylights, the pitcher helm and the Pringle helm, they've got like this Mario Luigi dynamic in my head. So I don't know what like the third party to that would be. Would it be like Toad or something? Some random really like round and rotund looking helmet. Maybe like the Onion Knight helmet. Either that or something super duper hollow with like a big gaping hole in it. Probably something super round because I think both of them are rather cylindrical. That is a very good question. Well, I did mention earlier that I did end up becoming a lot more confident. I think I can expound upon that. So I think that being Skye has helped me accept and develop my more mature side, as in my more onesan womanly side. Because like I very much wanted to be ooh, cutesy, kind of VTuber, and wanted to be like look very moe, look very cute. But when I was approached with Skye's original design, and like Miss Eri, the CEO of Aiden Project, told me like, we think you'd be a great fit for this character. I was like, are you sure? I don't think I'm very like elegant or mature or anything like that. I did think that the design was beautiful and I wanted to give it a try. I feel like, yeah, being Skye has made me more at ease with being not super duper uwu. I guess take for example me and my friend Kunny. Kunny's super duper uwu, very cutesy, and that's the kind of like content creator like I want it to be. Well, minus super duper lewd references and stuff, but not that I'm shaming her for it. I'm encouraging it. In fact, I got more accustomed to having my voice be more, more adult like, because like I'm not sure if it's just because of my age when I was VTubing at the time, but I felt like I tried to sound a lot more cutesy. But now, yeah, I'm very chill with how I am now, pretty much. Yeah, I think being Skye has helped me accept a bunch of different parts about myself. I guess I've discovered more about my boundaries and how I want people to treat me. As I mentioned earlier, I was, I think I still am to a degree, bit of a pushover and a people pleaser, but I've discovered a lot of things that I'm not okay with, like what kind of jokes are bueno or no bueno on my streams, or like certain behaviors and how like I want my community to treat others, stuff like that. I guess it's also helped me discover like my capabilities and my limits. You can stream for like, say for example, 12 hours on a donathon and stuff like that, right? I don't think I've streamed 12 hours, have I? I think maximum I've streamed is like 9, but like I've discovered like my physical limits for doing certain things, or like how much energy I have for like a stream, what kind of things I like to do and what I don't like to do, and how I feel about them on and off camera. Again, about the thing with the art, like I've discovered how much I appreciate my quiet time and not like showcasing everything in front of everybody. And I think also VTubing has taught me to appreciate my privacy as well. I guess the nice thing about VTubing is that it gives you that extra layer of protection of anonymity. Although sometimes I do worry that when I go outside, people will recognize me by my voice. It's still a lot less daunting because like, I'd have to actually open my mouth and yap in order for them to know who it is. Yeah. Aside from that, actually, I have a funny story that I think I forgot to tell on stream once, but during my Christmas celebration celebration with my friends, one of our other friends who we play D&D with came over to visit the Philippines because he lives elsewhere. And he was telling us about how his cousin is a very big VTuber fan. He loves watching VTubers and stuff like that. But he also gets into trouble with money because of that. So he didn't exactly know that I did VTubing yet, but the rest of my friend group knows basically. So we kind of like, informed him about it. And he's like, wait, what's your channel name again? And I'm like, here, it's this one, and like pull it up on my phone. And then he stares at it for a second. He's like, wait, yeah, I've seen you. Wait, yeah, my cousin watches you, I think. And I'm like, oh shit. And he told me, like, if you ever see a guy with this specific username and he's acting sus, like you're free to call him out and bonk him, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna tell him, like, I know your cousin, you're getting in trouble, boy.
I think you'd be safe, going out to places as long as you trust yourself not to yap. That's the key.
That's the hard part, maybe.
The extra hard part is that I use my full range of voice, like, on stream. So, even if I speak like this, or even if I speak like this, somebody's gonna recognize it, But I try not to worry about it too much, I did list a bunch of goals during my re-debut. One of them is, getting my subscriber count up. I want to aim for bigger heights on this channel because now that I fully own it and like I'm very secure with it and in it, like I want to be able to invest as much as I can now. So yeah, subscriber count, I said around like 100,000 people, and then oh, sorry, excuse me.
You got the hips.
No! No! It's going to be forever ingrained in this footage. Oh god. Aside from that, original song, I want to see if I can do any convention appearances. I've been sending out a bunch of emails, actually. I've only received like one reply so far, but yeah, I want to try and do both local and abroad appearances if possible. It would be nice either get sponsored by a few more indie games or just showcase a bunch more indie games, because there's a lot of really cool indie games that have come out recently. And if I had enough time, and this is emphasis on if I had, because I also have a job aside from maintaining my channel. I don't think this is that much of a stretch. I could have made a 3D concert myself. Because I won't be naming again my previous VTuber identity, because I keep that separate. I would like viewers to know that I keep my personal commission work and my VTubing here separate. When I did a re-debut, because I made a lot of designs for myself. When I did a re-debut with like a 3D model that I made in Vroid, I had a 3D dance number with like a little bit of video editing and also like kind of like semi-live sounding singing on top of it, similar to how like Hololive does it. I'm pretty sure I could do that again, but I don't have the time for it, unfortunately. But that is something I'd love to do in the future. Either like be part of a concert or have my own concert, I have done performances with AN Project, but I want to do it again.
So people are going to be asking for it like crazy now. So
oh my god. Like, again, guys, I want to, but I don't know if it's like physically, chronologically feasible right now. So please just look forward to like music video projects and like covers and stuff for now. This is another goal I have, but it's not necessarily for this year. It's like an overarching idea on the back burner. But I think making like, okay, there's two things. Making a visual novel would be really cool. I have experience. Dear God, another skill to add to the list. I have experience coding in Ren'Py, making visual novels, and like making art and like branching paths and grabbing code bits from the internet. Making a visual novel either based off of myself or like, I don't know, making an original story and publishing it under my name. It probably makes more sense for me to publish it under like my artist name, but I feel like as Skye, I have more reach. This is a kind of a strange sounding goal, but I kind of want to partner with like, if other VTubers would like to make like live 2D NSFW animations if they want. I think some of the skylights already, most of the skylights already know this. For one of my Donathon rewards, I made, wrote, directed, animated, illustrated, and video edited a whole 9-minute, was it? Video animation of a sister Shinryu at the time getting it on. So if other VTubers want to do something like that, if I have the time, that would be really cool to do. You know, I would like that. It will take a long while. Yeah. Thank you all for watching this interview, and please continue to support both me and Acapella Media. I think Acapella Media is doing something very great in the community alongside all of the other media coverage people out there. I think we should show them all our appreciation, and you know, I think like the stuff they put out is really fun. I think having a not just video but also text format media to consume and read and find your information from is really great, and I think I've learned and discovered a lot of different things through them, and I hope you guys do as well. So you can find me, Skye Senfort, on Twitter, Blue Sky, and YouTube. I don't think I'm active anywhere else, and I also have a card site which you can find all of those links. I tend to be live on at around 11 a.m. or 1 p.m. GMT +8, sometimes at 8 p.m. If you happen to be awake at any of those hours, please feel free to stop by and, you know, say hi. And, you know, if you want to let me know that you came by from the Acapella Media interview, then feel free to do so. Maybe we can talk about it a bit. And again, thank you all so much. And thank you so much again, Acapella Media, for this opportunity. I'm very, very honored, very happy to be here. Yay!